Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Zahiruddin Khairul Adzlan, matrix number CB200023. For my title of my thesis is Perceptions of Students Regarding the Safety of Air Conditioning Workshops of Vocational Colleges in the Klang Valley districts. That is my title of my thesis. Okay, regarding to my title of thesis, firstly we go to the introduction, and the introduction is about this safety practice can be evaluated as a normalization or a form of attitude that everyone should have. A person is not born at the same time. When he is born to this world, these habits and similarities will blend together if we practice something over and over again. Likewise for safety, because safety is a very important matter that needs to be observed by all parties and group by Ibrahim 2017. Safety is just as important as health. We take care of our health because we want to avoid illness or minor or major injuries, such as this aspect of this matter with safety. So my introduction more to safety in the laboratory air conditioning. Okay, for this part we go to background of study. We have four types of background of study that should be considered. Firstly, a relatively weak and unclear perspective on safety when doing work in the workshop, especially in the operation of the air conditioning system. And secondly, lack of knowledge regarding the correct standards in applying first aid measures in event of an emergency. And the third one, lack of sense of responsibility in developing safety practice in oneself while working alone or in group in the workshop. And lastly, the fourth, incomplete fire prevention equipment and also an incomplete first aid kit in the workshop. So this is my background study that I have been researched for my background study and I state just now. Alright, now let's turn to research objective. And the research objective that I have found, which is 5 types. Firstly, identifying students' perception of issues of insecurity and safety in the workshop. And secondly, identifying students' awareness of safety practice in the workshop. And the third one, identifying the level of students' knowledge of safety practice in air conditioning workshop. And the second last, identifying a safety workshop environment to minimize the accidents. And the last part is identifying the actual standard student behavior in the place of the hand tools that have been prepared. So this is my research objective that I have been found, and I'm trying to create something new from this objective and try to solve it. Okay, this part we go through to the scope of the research. As for now, I only put 3 scope of research that very important. Okay, firstly, my scope of the research are only for technical and vocational students participating in refrigerants and air conditioning technology courses in vocational college student around the Klang Valley. And secondly, consists of first until fourth refrigeration and air conditioning technology cohort student. Okay, and lastly, for my scope of the research is only focusing on refrigeration and air conditioning technology workshop only, and not another workshop at vocational college. Only focusing on refrigeration and air conditioning technology workshop. Okay, for this part we go to the literature review. Okay, what is literature review? Okay, the literature review is a written overview of major writings and other sources on selected topic. So now I get the sources from the other sources on a selected topic for my thesis. So now we have 5 types of literature review that I have been found. And firstly, safety during practice, and secondly, student knowledge of practice, and thirdly, conscientiousness, and fourthly, student and individual attitudes towards practice, and lastly, for my literature review that I have been writing, is workshop safety practice, that which is very important for my thesis. Okay, now we go through to the methodology, and for my methodology I use 5 laws of types, which is research design, sample and population, research instrument, instrument validity, and data analysis. Okay, now we go to the research design. For the research design, I use quantitative design, which is questionnaire form. Okay, so for the sample and population, I use stratified specific sampling, which is only vocational technology in air conditioning student only. And for the total student or respondent, which is only 127 respondent and student only. Okay, for the research instrument, I use questionnaire form that consists 4 cohorts of student and using Likert scale. For the instrument validity and the validity of research instrument, I use content and face validity. Okay, lastly, for the data analysis, I do analyze it using descriptive statistic exam, and I use mean and deviation value, and lastly, I use a t-test to analyze the data that I have collected. Okay, for the last slide is conclusion. Okay, for the conclusion, I have expected outcome that I have listed down, which is 3 my expected outcome for this whole total thesis. Okay, my first expected outcome is student in this study is expected to give accurate awareness to student in practicing safety practice in refrigeration and air conditioning workshop. In addition, students can apply safety practice and change the perception of safety practice more seriously to avoid accidents and also ensure comfort. This study can also help students carry out work with a minimal accident rate. And my second expected outcome was teaching or staff and teachers in this study can provide more information to teachers so that they are always aware and always take appropriate measure to ensure safety practice in the refrigeration and air conditioning workshop are always awake. And for the last part of my expected outcome was for vocational college. Okay, this study is not only important for students and teachers, but also important for the vocational college itself, by always ensuring that workshop safety practice are always implemented and always ensuring that the tools and facilities in the workshop are complete, and this can reduce accidents and provide comfort to students and teachers. Okay, we have come to the end. That's all from me, Muhammad Zahiruddin bin Khairul Adzlan, CB 2023. Right, thank you.